Welcome back to House Rich, the real estate show, home of the world's best home buying tips. Today we're going to talk about VA loans. So hold on, you're thinking, hey, I'm not a veteran. This episode doesn't apply to me. Let me skip it. Well, one, share it with the veteran. Two, just share it in general because you never know what a veteran may come across this video. And then three, most importantly, also share it with the realtor. There's a lot of misinformation as far as VA loans and realtors, just ignorance, and not ignorance in that you're dumb, but ignorance in the lack of knowledge. Who discourage their clients from accepting VA loans so they really don't understand how they work. And then I guess there are actually people who are eligible for VA loans, unfortunately, you'll figure out why, that aren't actually veterans. So let's jump right into it. Let's see who's eligible for a VA loan. So I'm just going to read this directly from the NerdWallet site. They put together a nice breakdown here. You can also just go to va.gov. They have a big chart you can read there as well. So you're eligible if you're on active duty and have served 90 continuous days. You're a veteran who meets the length of service requirements, generally which are 90 days in wartime and 181 days in peacetime. You completed 90 days of active service or 6 credible years in the Selected Reserve or the National Guard. And here we go. If you are the surviving spouse of a veteran who died while in service or from a service-connected disability and you have not remarried, or you remarried after age of 57 or December 16th, 2003. Spouses of service members missing in action or prisoners of war are also eligible. So those are the unfortunate people who are eligible right there. And also it says, you may still qualify if you don't meet the length of service requirements in some cases, such as being discharged for a service-connected disability. Check with the VA for details. So one, that's who's eligible for a VA loan in the first place. So let's go over some stuff from a high level. And so one of the great things about a VA loan is 0% down. And so like I said, you can do 100% financing with the VA loan. One thing I found out though is, so if you're a veteran and you're trying to apply with somebody who's not a veteran, it doesn't really work. And so for some reason, like if you apply as a veteran with someone who's not a veteran, like I did with my fiance at the time, the down payment goes from 0% to 25%. I'm not quite sure why that's the case, but it does. So yeah, don't try to apply with anybody that is not a veteran. It just makes sense to go conventional or FHA at that point, which I did in my scenario. So just FYI, if you're thinking, hey, can I do just have somebody on there to help with the income? No, you cannot. And so one of the cool things with the VA loan as well, so it says 0% down. There's also typically your lenders will waive the processing fee. So like with a normal, like conventional loan, you may have like $1,000 processing, underwriting fee or whatever. Typically most lenders will waive that fee for you there. And also with that 0% down, there's no PMI. And so that's another great aspect of the VA loan as well. There is one thing with the VA loan, it's called the VA funding fee, which the VA funding fee is just to help lower the burden on the taxpayers, help with administrative fees and stuff like that. And so the VA funding fee can be financed into the loan, or I guess you can pay it out of pocket. And so one, there's no VA funding fee if you're disabled and collecting, benefits. So basically if you're 10% disabled or more, there's no VA funding fee. For everybody else, I'm going to kind of read how the funding fee works. So if you put down less than 5%, so if you're putting down 0%, the VA funding fee is basically 2.3% of the loan amount. So if it's a $100,000 loan, your VA funding fee is $2,300. If you put down more than 5%, the fee drops to 1.65%. And if you put down 10% or more, your fee drops to 1.4%. And so you can also use the VA loan multiple times, so we'll get into that as well. But if you use the VA loan again, your funding fee jumps up to 3.6%. Just kind of a FYI there. And so, what are the qualification requirements? So technically there's no minimum credit requirement for a VA loan. But, most likely you're going to need like a 640. Because what happens when you're below that is you have to go through manual underwriting, which is just a mess up. So what typically happens with loans is loan officer pulls your credit, enters your income information, enters your asset information, such as your funds, and then they put into a system, and it kind of goes to the system. The system says, hey, thumbs up, thumbs down. It goes through some algorithm, and so if it doesn't go through the algorithm, sometimes lenders will do like a manual underwrite, which is literally a underwriter is going through the file and the document, and it's just a lot more strenuous process. Some lenders actually don't offer that, and so while we're on the topic of lenders, VA loans are done by lenders, not the VA, not the Veteran Affairs Committee or Association. They're done by lenders. So you'll see a lot of lenders who are like, hey, we're VA loan specific, and they'll have like, I don't want to name anybody specific, but there's a bunch of lenders that have like VA or veterans in their name. Any lender can name themselves whatever they want. They have no association with the VA. Just kind of FYI on that. So it's not like if you're going to lender X is just who does like a bunch of different type of loans, conventional, FHA, blah blah, and then it's like, oh no, if I'm getting a VA loan, I should go to this company called VA Loan Company or something like that. They may have more experience in that. But once again, it's really your loan officer. You want to see your loan officer's experience in VA loans if you are doing a VA loan, because there are a lot of different stipulations as far as the VA loan. So, for instance, like if you're doing a VA loan and you're in a community property state, your spouse's debts come with the loan, whether on the loan or not. So, like if they don't qualify credit-wise, those debts are still coming with it if it's a VA loan. Just kind of FYI there. So there's 9 community property states. You want to look those up as well. Just Google community property states and VA loans, and those 9 states will pop up. And then, so as far as debt to income ratio, so your debt to income ratio cannot be over 41% on paper, but I've seen folks go all the way up to like 60% as far as your DTI, your debt to income ratio. So your debt to income ratio is your monthly finance debts plus the future mortgage payment divided by your income before taxes. How you calculate your debt to income ratio. So I have previous videos on how to actually they get a little bit more specific into calculating that as well. And so let's talk about the loan limits. So the loan limits for a VA loan are in line with the FHFA. And so right now that is $647,200. Sorry, I get messed up when I try to say big numbers. And so basically what that means for you is that you can go all the way up to that limit when it comes to a VA loan. But you actually can still go over that $647,200. And so you can use basically like a one-time waiver essentially to go over that VA loan limit. And so technically there's actually no ceilings, no cap on a VA loan as well. So that's important for you to know as well. And so it's basically a one-time high balance exception. And also, like I say, you can use the VA loan more than once. So there's basically 2 ways to go about that. One, you can use the VA loan, refinance into another type of loan, sell your home or whatever, and you're out of that VA loan and you get all your eligibility back. Or you can, take a VA loan and then turn that property into a rental and get another VA loan, but you're still capped at that $647,200 limit. So let's say, for instance, you get a $300,000 loan. So you have basically $347,200 in eligibility left to get another VA loan if you turn that property into a rental. So once again, your VA loan, don't think I said this, but your VA loan can only be for your primary residence. And so let's say if you find a house that's under $347,000, great for you. If you find a house that's over it, let's say you find a house that's $447,000. So basically you're $100,000 over that VA limit. So what happens in that scenario? So you can finance the $347,000, 100% of that, but the other $100,000 you have to basically put down 25% of that. So in that scenario, your down payment would be $25,000. So like in that scenario, you have to think, hey, does it make sense for me just to maybe use a conventional loan and for $447,000 and just put down 3%? And so, like in a scenario like that, it may make sense just to go conventionally. If you're going to be over that VA loan limit, you're going to have to like finance basically 25% or whatever is over that total amount there. And then so kind of the last part, realtors are scared of the VA appraisals just because they're, like I said, they're backed by the VA, and so they're a little bit kind of like FHA. They're a little bit more thorough and a little bit more in depth than your regular conventional loans. Like stuff literally has to be fixed. You can't have like wires showing, electricity showing, chip paint or lead paint. You can't have like bars on the windows. There's a lot of stuff that it's just safety issues that honestly shouldn't be going on with the house anyway. So the VA loan is not for like a fixer upper by any stretch of the imagination. But if it's just your normal house, that's in good shape, that the realtor shouldn't be scared of, there's really no big difference. So the VA also, unlike conventional loans, they have an actual rebuttal process, like a formal process to dispute the loans. And once again, the biggest factor with any appraisal, it's the same with the VA loan, is they're looking at comparable sales. So there's this stigma with VA loans that somehow, if it's to make the numbers easy, if it's a $100,000 loan or $100,000 property, with a conventional loan, you're going to get that $100,000 appraised amount. But VA loans are somehow less, and it's going to be like 90%. No, that's not a thing. It's just some a miseducation amongst a lot of realtors, and a rumor that somehow spread around is that VA loans come in a lot less. So they actually, they'll, which is kind of legal, they steer their clients away from VA loans, which is kind of crappy, from accepting VA loans, which is kind of crappy due to their ignorance, because they're just concerned about their own commission. So whatever. And then the last thing, which is actually a real thing, is that there's the mandatory clause, meaning that if the home appraises for less than the amount listed on the contract, the seller can back out of the contract even 1 day before closing. So honestly, that right there is a real stipulation, a real reason that some folks may be scared of a VA loan, is that a mandatory clause. But there's methods about there are methods to make that a little bit more less unappealing to clients as well. So yeah, that's it. That's the breakdown of the VA loan. Thanks for watching this far. You know, say share with a friend, like this video, subscribe if you haven't so far. But yeah, VA loan, the best loan program out there. So let's share this with vet. Thanks.